The Chicana muralist movement emerged as a tool of ethnic identity and political activism from the late 60s to the early 80s, and continues to play a significant form of visual representation in the public space. This ethnography examines the interactions of Los Angeles communities to the creation, destruction, and preservation of Chicano and Chicana murals. Based on the responses of interlocutors, social media pages, and artistic organizations, I will assess the murals' roles as iconographic expressions of counterpublics, thereby embodying alternative spaces for renegotiation of identities and contestation. Many Los Angeles murals are located in parks, bridges, and underpasses along highways in order to fall within the public eye. One of the most well-known murals is the Great Wall of Los Angeles, which lines half a mile of the Tujunga Flood Control Valley. According to the Social and Public Resource Center, or SPARC, the Great Wall Project employed 400 youths and their families from diverse social and economic backgrounds, working with artists, oral historians, ethnologists, scholars, and hundreds of community members. The mural features narratives from prehistory to the 1950s, including stories from underrepresented peoples of California, women, and minorities who felt the need to create a monument to interracial harmony. Even though the mural was created in 1974, SPARC continues to add to the mural, including the last 4 centuries from 1960 to the 2000s, in order to spur more recent civic discussions. From examining social media and conducting interviews, I've witnessed how Los Angeles community members continue to utilize murals as a space for defining identity.
There's a lot of history. There's a lot of Chicano and Chicana history in the murals. So it's also a teaching tool for people in the community, people that may not be of, Latin culture, Mexican culture, or what have you, but there's images of just like the indigenous people, and just it's almost like hieroglyphics. Like there's storytelling that happens in it, and it's a way for not only people of that community to feel proud of their history, but also for people that are not familiar to be more familiar with it.
Facebook pages like Self-Help Graphics and the Chicano Murals and Aztlan by Brown Beret Aliso Montoya publicize the importance of Chicano murals in their communities. Furthermore, many individuals post pictures of the murals, tagging in the historical significance of the murals. However, murals situated in public spaces are subjected to the natural elements, graffiti taggers, and governmental whitewashing.
It saddens me, actually. For instance, I was actually back in the Santa Monica Freeway in Los Angeles, and a friend of mine knew the muralist. It was beautiful, and there's kids that were able to contribute to help paint it, and it was a nice piece.
Damaged murals negatively affect the representation and spirits of local community members.
And I think it's worst when the mural has a meaning to a specific population or a specific belief, and then when it's taken down, it is such an insult.
Meanwhile, there has also been a backlash of Los Angeles communities as a response to the destruction of murals.
But over the years, because buildings change hands and things downtown in LA, people wanted to either tear it down or paint over them, and they've, at least those two, and there might be another one that I'm not thinking of, have been designated as a historical site. So the city has worked to, not let people paint over them, or, other kids to come in and graffiti them and things like that. And they are, to my estimation, a source of pride for the community, and that's probably why they've been saved.
As a reaction to the destruction and legislative exclusion of murals, many individuals and organizations attempt to publicize and preserve murals, thereby demonstrating the significance communities place on the artworks. Through the Mural Rescue Program, SPARC attempts to provide empowerment by preserving and restoring murals. Resulting from the community's efforts, LA law has changed legislation in order to preserve murals. Los Angeles ordinances deleted the mural sign regulation and added legislation to encourage artistic expression, foster a sense of pride, prevent vandalism, and preserve existing murals. This ethnography investigated how the creation and destruction of Chicano and Chicana murals affects the visual representation of marginalized communities in public spaces. The Chicano muralists create works of art which transform and beautify public spaces into vehicles of nationalistic pride and civic debate.
Los Angeles is a very diverse place, and there are some marginalized communities and there are some dominant communities, and we all live amongst each other, and there's some separation, but I think through that, when people can experience another culture, whether it be through interaction with an individual or through either sometimes it's through the food that we eat, sometimes it's seeing artwork like murals. So I think that it's important for people to, number one, represent themselves, and representation is important so that people can experience each other, and it kind of works both ways. It's to allow people to be represented and also for people to feel empowered to be represented so that there is dialogue, so there is a mutual experience.